Welcome back to the Poker Model Hand Breakdown. Let's get into the hand today. We're focusing on all-ins, okay? I think there's a lot of confusion about when to put your chips in and when not to, what's a good hand, what isn't, and so today I want to clear some of that up. This is a pretty simple hand. We're not even going to get to the flop, but we have to look at specific things to understand when we should go all in and when we shouldn't. So I'm sitting here with pocket jacks, 30,000 chips. The blinds are 300, 600. 30,000 chips is 50 big blinds, which is approaching the large stack threshold. Pocket jacks is a great hand. It's a pocket pair. It's high. There's really only queens, kings, and aces that are dominating it. There's hands like ace king and ace queen that are coin flips. So we're going to play pocket jacks most of the time. But what we have to do when we're presented with a situation with pocket jacks is really look at what happened before us. So if someone raises before us, we're most likely going to just call behind. It's in one of the call behind ranges, depending on stack size. But when there's all ins in front of us, that's where jacks can become very, very valuable. Let's look at this hand and see what happens here. I'm sitting in under the gun +2, which is early table position. And let's see what happens. Okay, so under the gun goes all in for 9,000 chips. The first thing we want to do, like always, we want to convert 9,000 chips into just a big blind amount. So what we do is we say 6,000 chips would be 10 big blinds and 3,000 chips would be 5 big blinds. So this is a 15 big blind all in. We do this because it eliminates the pressure or the fear of making an all-in call for 9 million chips. If the blinds were 300,000, 600,000, and 9 million chips was the all-in, we'd still be looking at a 15 big blind all-in. But here we are. So most likely what's going to happen here is under the gun +1 is going to fold because he would have to have a pretty big hand to make this call, and then it's going to be on me. Now, I would make the call, and I would expect that the player from under the gun who went all in to have really like a good hand, something like pocket 10s, pocket 9s, 8s, 7s, maybe ace jack, ace queen, ace king, possibly queens, kings, or aces. Those hands are out there. But pocket jacks is going to be beating most hands from this position that the all-in came from with this stack size of 15 big blinds. And again, we can help you and show you from any seat what the big blind ranges are, what hand you should or should not call with. But so I'm looking at this situation and I'm thinking I'm going to call. Let's see what happens. Interesting. We have a big blind from under the gun +1 now for 12,000 chips, which is 20 big blinds. So now my thinking has to shift a little bit. I have to think I have a 9,000 all in from under the gun, and I had a range of hands that I would think about calling with, that I'd be dominating this all in. So I'd be thinking maybe he has 7s, 6s, whatever, hands that I'm beating. But when another player goes all in for 20 big blinds behind, we have to put ourselves in that person's headspace. We have to understand that they are probably thinking the same thing. They're thinking there's an all in coming from under the gun that may have pocket 10s, pocket 8s, 9s, 7s, whatever. And if this person now to my right is thinking I can beat all those hands, well, I have to really consider if I think my pocket jacks are good. Because think about it now. This 12,000 all-in could be pocket aces, pocket kings, pocket queens, ace king, ace queen. Maybe it's pocket jacks, maybe it's ace jack, which I'm beating. Maybe it's ace 10, which is very light. Maybe he has pocket 10s, which I'd be beating there. But the ranges of hands that I'm dominating has just shrunk, by a lot. So the first all-in I was very comfortable calling. But now that there's 2 all-ins in front of me, I'm thinking that I need to fold. And I think a lot of players thinking, okay, well, it's just a couple all-ins, and I have a great hand, and I got to gamble here. I got to put my money in. They would do it with, obviously, aces, kings, ace, queen, big hands. But they're also thinking, some players I've seen do this with king, queen suited. They think they can beat these hands. They sometimes do it with a hand like pocket 2s. Maybe I can hit a 2 and win. So what I'm here to tell you today is that you're going to have to make pretty big folds. I have to say, even if I have pocket queens here, I might lay it down. I have 50 big blinds. I don't need to gamble like this. And sure, I could be dominating both of them, but there's a very big chance that that second player who went all in has the goods. So I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm going to understand that I have 50 big blinds. I can win the whole tournament. I really don't care. No one needs to know that I had pocket jacks, and I can just pretend that I had 7-2 offsuit and folded it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to decide that, look, my hand is good, but because of this action in front of me, it's probably not a winner, and I'm going to make the fold. And for the sake of this hand, we're going to flip over the cards and see what these two players had. And as expected, one had ace-10. That's a hand that jacks was dominating, like we anticipated. However, the player behind had pocket kings, a hand that pocket jacks is dominated by. So the last thing you want to do is just ship your chips in because you have pocket jacks, not thinking about any of these other things, and lose a big pot. So that's really the message today. Big hand pre-flop. It may not be big on the flop, and it also may not be big with previous action like this. Hope you had a good listen today. We'll talk to you on the next one. Bye.